Karo Karuna Avataro. So that's the first verse of the Chaitanya Bhagavat, offering respects to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So tonight we will be speaking of the happy path. The happy path. And the happy path is that we all want you to be happy. We all want you to be happy. That's the goal of the Krishna consciousness movement, is we want to make everybody happy. That's our main goal. When you come to the temple, we want to see that you become a happier person. And that is the mission of Lord Chaitanya also. Lord Chaitanya wishes to make everybody happy. So how do we do that? How do we become happy? How do we become this person that we all wish we can be? So I have a few verses, a few things I want to say. And I think we can explore that. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this beautiful thing in the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, one who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. He for whom no one is put into difficulty, and whom is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and is not striving for some result, is very dear to me. One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in loving service to me, such a person is very dear to me. So how many would like to be like that? Free from all pains. So this is the way a devotee acts. But it seems very difficult when we analyze, when we look at what is it going to take for me to develop these qualities. It's a very difficult situation when we start thinking in that way. It starts to become overwhelming when we look at ourselves so much of the time. I don't feel like I'm free from all pains. I don't feel like any of these qualities apply to me. So how do we develop there? How do we go there? And ideally, when you hear something like that, you start to think, well, this will make me happy. If I'm like that, I'm going to become very happy when I develop these qualities. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. It's not at all known by very many people that God himself comes to this earth. That's a far out fact. But even more far out than that is that God himself came to this earth only 500 years ago in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So most people are familiar with Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead whom spoke the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanar bhavati bharata abhyutanama dharmasya tadatmajam shajam yaham. That whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious principles, at that time I descend myself. He says, Paritranaya saranam vinashaya triduskritam, to defeat the demons and to elevate the devotees, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I appear myself millennium after millennium. So Krishna is coming to give us religious teachings, to give us spirituality millennium after millennium. The Lord is coming into this world to give us dharma, to give us what we need to understand in order to become happy. So Krishna says, surrender unto me. in the Bhagavad Gita, he continuously says, surrender unto me and you'll be happy. I'll relieve you from your sins. I'll relieve you from your bad karma. If you surrender unto me, you're going to be happy. Once again, that's one of those tall orders. It's not so easy when we understand what does it even mean to surrender to God. It's a tall order. It can be a little bit scary. What does it mean to surrender to God? So going deeper than that, Krishna thought, well, I told you to surrender. I told you I'll relieve you from all your suffering. So I'm going to come down and show you practically how to surrender. And so since tomorrow is Gaura Purnima, is the day in which Lord Chaitanya appeared a little over 500 years ago into this world, we celebrate, and we're having a big celebration tomorrow. So Lord Chaitanya, he had twofold reasons for coming. One reason is Krishna was seeing that his own devotees seemingly are more happy than he. The devotees get more bliss than Krishna does. Krishna is God. He's the source of all bliss. But the devotees who serve Krishna feel so much happiness that it appears that they're feeling more happy than Krishna. So Krishna thought, I have to come down and experience this love of being a devotee, specifically his most dear devotee, Srimati Radharani. He saw Radharani, she's serving so nicely and she seems so happy. Therefore, I want to come and experience what she's experiencing serving me. He also thought the people of the earth are in this Kali Yuga age. It's a very degraded age. It's considered the darkest of the four cosmic seasons. Four cosmic seasons. Satya is the golden age. Things are really good then. People live a long time. There's no war. There's no atom bombs and threats and all the things we're going through right now. It's a very peaceful age. And then each age progressively gets more and more degraded. And now we're in the age of Kali, which is basically an age of darkness, hypocrisy, so many negative qualities. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hipatritaha. Everybody's short-lived, unlucky, lazy, and always anxious, and always quarrelsome. So it's not a good age. And we're experiencing that. And so in this age, there are processes by which we can extricate ourselves from this state of consciousness, this unlucky, quarrelsome, lazy, anxious state of consciousness. We can extricate ourselves from that. We don't want to be like that. I mean, I think it's a common experience that just things seemed easier, 15 years ago. And things seemed easier. I mean, the world is just getting more and more crazy. It's the most common thing we hear. It is getting more and more crazy. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have a cell phone. I would go out and play in the park with my friends. You know what? I had a good time. Maybe I was just because I was a kid. I don't know. But it just seemed like things were easier. And now things are very, very difficult for people. People are having a hard time even living, even paying rent, all of these things. This is a symptom of the age of Kali, of this age we live in. So Lord Chaitanya thought people are going to suffer in this age. Let me go and show them how to surrender to Krishna, how to relieve themselves from this. And so Lord Chaitanya is so amazing. And if we understand his philosophy, we can become completely happy. Completely happy. So I want to dive in a second. And before we start diving very deep, we have to get the who right. What I mean by that is if you don't understand who you are, you can never be happy. So it's all about getting the who right in spiritual life. Spiritual life begins with the who. That's the first question. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. The who is the first question. So who is this person that you want to be happy? So I was thinking before this class about who, what relationships, that when we identify with a certain thing, the equation changes. What's going to make us happy changes. For instance, what makes a dog happy? A bone, a female dog, a nice place to sleep. These things make a dog happy. What makes a cat happy? Cats are never happy. Yeah, whatever, what makes a fish happy? Being in the water. What makes what's the American dream? What's American happy? 2 cars and a house and 2.5 kids and whole thing. So what we identify as is going to affect what our object of happiness is. You see? there's always a relationship between the who and the what in terms of what's going to make one happy. The same thing that makes a certain person of a certain country happy may not make a person of another country happy. For instance, there's a big debate in this movement, this Hare Krishna movement, about spice, chilies. Certain people of a certain race are very fond of chilies, and other people of other races are not fond of chilies. And they become very unhappy if there's chilies in the prasadam. So you see how the who affects the what in which is going to make one happy. So if we get the ultimate who right, then we can understand the ultimate what in terms of what will make us happy. So Krishna says, Namai Vamsho, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manastastas Indriyani Prakriti-stani Karshati. And the living entities in this material world are my eternal fragmental parts. They're suffering very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. So the living entities in this world are parts and parcels of Krishna. You're part and parcel of Krishna. I'm part and parcel of Krishna. We have to understand that. And we say that every single Sunday. We say it every single day. We should tell ourselves that every day. But it never gets old. You're part and parcel of Krishna. You're a spiritual being. And therefore, you're entitled to the same happiness as Krishna in one sense. You have the same qualities of Sat, eternality, knowledge, and bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. You have those qualities. And so if we're not feeling blissful on a daily basis, we can understand we're not functioning right. And it's a good check. I'm not feeling blissful. I'm not functioning right as a soul. I need to course correct here. I need to make a course correction. So in understanding that we are a spiritual being, we're not this body, we're the soul within the body, and this soul is part of Krishna. The soul is eternal and the body is temporary. And understanding that, we can understand what makes us happy. And this is one of the common points I make in my classes. If you can simply understand that I'm not this body, I'm the soul, the next logical question becomes, what is a soul and how does a soul act? If I'm an American, I'm expected to do certain things. I go, I vote, there's certain things and beliefs we have. If I'm a fish, I'm expected to do certain things. If I'm a spider, I'm expected to do certain things, you see? But they're all souls. Every living entity has a soul within it. And so in understanding that I am a soul, what is the soul's activity and what makes the soul happy? And the answer is very beautiful. The answer is simply love. Love is what makes the soul happy. And love is the what, which answers our who in terms of I'm a soul, I'm part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is all about love. Krishna is all about love. So what makes a soul happy? A soul becomes happy with love. And Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the incarnation of Krishna's transcendental love. It's the incarnation of Krishna's love. Krishna concentrated all his love and he incarnated as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya is love and he's teaching us how to live like a soul. How do we live like a soul? How do we act as who we really are? So Lord Chaitanya, he engaged in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, the Sankirtan process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With the understanding that love is ultimately meant for God. And when one loves God, to the degree that one loves God, one can love others. Otherwise, it doesn't work out. And so I've seen diagrams and I've seen this example used that love is always never between two people. It's always between three people. It's always between Krishna and the two people who are loving each other, whether that be friends or partners or whatever. And the closer they are to Krishna, you see the closer they are to each other. The farther they are from Krishna, the farther they are from each other. So we have to become close to Krishna in order to really love each other. And the process of becoming close to Krishna and developing our love for Krishna in this age is specifically and most importantly chanting Krishna's names. That's the prescribed method for the age of Kali. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir anyata. That in this age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way but to chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. So if I want to live like a soul, I have to live in a perpetual relationship with that source of love. That's who I am. I exist to be a lover of the Supreme, of Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself showing us how do we live in such a way. So Lord Chaitanya was always absorbed in ecstasy of love for God, of love for Krishna, because he was constantly chanting Hare Krishna, he was constantly eating blessed prasadam, and he was constantly associating in a loving way with Krishna's devotees. And in this way, Lord Chaitanya exhibited the process. So since tomorrow's Gaur Purnima, I wanted to just speak a little bit about Lord Chaitanya, and I wanted to talk about the Shikshastakam and this process which Lord Chaitanya gives on actually its 8 simple instructions on how to develop the highest possible love. And so we'll go through as much as we can. They're all good and nectar. So if we want to understand and live in this, live like a soul, want to understand and live in the who, get the who right, we can get the what right. By understanding this, we'll have full perfection, full happiness. And it starts with this verse. Lord Chaitanya says, "Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, the chanting of the Lord's holy names, the congregational chanting of the Lord's holy names," just like we were doing, Kirtanya was chanting so nicely, "which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life." So this chanting of Hare Krishna cleanses the heart of all the dust. That means all these things we identify with, all of these miseries we walk around with and we love to talk about. When you chant Hare Krishna, they go away. You don't identify with them anymore. So that's why we need to chant Hare Krishna, and then you'll start to feel happy. And you need to associate with others who are seriously chanting Hare Krishna, not chanting a few rounds here and there, not chanting half the round, chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds, or as much as they can at least. As much as you can chant Hare Krishna. Someone's trying as hard as they can to chant Hare Krishna. It's actually full-time engagement in chanting. The more we do that, the closer we come to this love. Extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. You don't take birth again. People don't think about that. You don't die again. When you chant Hare Krishna, you become immortal. Your soul stops identifying with the body, and therefore you don't have to take another body. You're not forced by the laws of karma to take another body. So when you chant Hare Krishna, you know no more birth and death. That Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It's the prime benediction. There's so many things God benedicts us with. He benedicts with light, sun, air. These are all benedictions. Wealth, beauty, learning, a good brain. These are all benedictions from God. But the prime benediction, the most important benediction, is the Sankirtan movement, chanting Hare Krishna. So you can have all of these good things, this nice birth, nice janma, Aishwarya, you can have so much wealth, you can be so learned, you can be so beautiful. But if you're not taking the prime benediction of Harinam Sankirtan, of chanting Hare Krishna, and giving this chanting of Hare Krishna to others, if you're not taking that prime benediction, all of your other benedictions are like stars, and you're not taking the moon, which is this chanting of Hare Krishna. Because even if you have all those things, but you don't have this prime benediction, you're not going to be happy, you see? So it spreads the rays of the benediction. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. So all the spiritual knowledge is given life by chanting Hare Krishna. All of the spiritual knowledge is coming from chanting Hare Krishna. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. Transcendental bliss is important. I think we need to feel blissful to be happy in life. And it will increase the ocean, not just a drop in ocean. And it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we're always anxious. We're always anxious to feel happy, right? Everybody's thinking, I want to feel happy. Got to get some nectar somewhere. Right? Through this or through that, through money, through women, through whatever they're trying to do. They're trying to feel some happiness. This will fully give us what we're always anxious for, this chanting of Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya's second verse, how to live like a soul. He says, "O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings." So all the benediction to the living beings, everything you need in life is given from the holy name. So if you don't chant Hare Krishna, if you chant Hare Krishna, everything you need will be provided. And if you chant Hare Krishna and you're feeling there's a lack in my life, chant Hare Krishna better. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names. Krishna has unlimited names. Krishna has unlimited names. So Radha and Krishna, Hare Krishna, these are names of Krishna, but Krishna has unlimited names. All of them are filled with his potency. Like Krishna and Govinda, in these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies, meaning that Krishna and his name are non-different. That's the secret of chanting Hare Krishna, is that God's name and God are non-different. If we understood that, how would we take so seriously this chanting of the holy name? We all ideally come to the temple to have an experience of God, but God himself is telling you that I am my name. So this name is the most important part of all God consciousness, is the name. This Nam. Lord, one great saint, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, says there's nothing but the holy name in all 14 worlds. So this holy name is so powerful, and Lord Chaitanya is giving this to us. Chant the holy name of Krishna. There are not even any hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Chant Krishna's names. It's not a big ritual. Chant his names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your names. Then Lord Chaitanya says, but I am so fortunate that I have no attraction for them. So this is our unfortunate if we feel like we're not attracted to the holy name. And even if we chant, still we should feel I'm not attracted to the holy name. Lord Chaitanya chanted all day and all night. We may chant just a little bit. And this is why Lord Chaitanya had the Mahabhav, Maha bliss. We have some bliss. So it's all there in our chanting of the holy name. And so this is the Hare Krishna movement. Hare Krishna movement is powered by the holy name of Krishna and powered by Lord Chaitanya's teachings. So it has nothing to do with the way you dress. It has nothing to do with, your cool name or anything like that, unless your cool name is the name of Krishna. But actually, the whole Hare Krishna movement is powered by this holy name. And that will make you transcendental and make you happy. Verse number 3, which is generally considered the most important verse for all devotees of the Lord. And so the Sanskrit is beautiful. Trinadapi sunichena taro eva saishnuna amanena madhanena kirtaniya sarahari. Lord Chaitanya says, one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. So the first part about chanting is one should chant in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. They use the straw to cover up all the nasty substances on the street. When you're in a dirt street, they throw straw over all the nasty things, the animal droppings and so forth. So lower than that is all the nasty things. So we should feel ourselves very humble. Lord Chaitanya is making this point. Let us feel really humble. Lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree. There's so many things that are going to upset us in this world. We have to learn to tolerate them. People will upset us. Situations will upset us. Leaders will upset us. We have to learn to tolerate them, and that means we have to also learn to love them. We love them even though they're very difficult to tolerate. We tolerate them. That toleration forces us to take shelter of the holy name. We sometimes want to take shelter of our anger. We feel this, I hate this person. I'm going to just blast them. Well, you took shelter of that to make you feel better, to relieve your fire. You needed to, react and rage on a person or do this or that. You didn't take shelter of Krishna. You took shelter of your mind. Krishna is saying, tolerate all these things and just come back to chanting Hare Krishna. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige. We shouldn't think who am I? What is false prestige? Thinking I'm better than anybody else. I was speaking to my dear friend the other night who used to live at the temple. Her name is Lavanga Devi Dasi, wonderful devotee. And I was thinking she has this beautiful sense of no false prestige. Very humble person. And I was really inspired. I was thinking, wow, this is such a nice devotee, not feeling any sense of false prestige, not thinking I'm better than anybody else. That's such a beautiful state, way you can be. And one should be ready to offer all respects to others, but not expect any respect for oneself. All respect. All respect. That means every living entity deserves our respect because they're part and parcel of Krishna. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So we can increase our chanting by developing that state of mind. And we can develop that state of mind by increasing our chanting. So we're running low on time. We're not going to go through all 8 verses Lord Chaitanya said, but we'll do the first 4, and then the next 4 are up to you. You can go find them. But they get progressively higher and higher levels of love. Actually, you know what? I'll do the 4th one, then I'll go to the 8th one, because the 8th one really is embodiment of this love. So this 4th verse says, O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So this is the prayer of a pure devotee of God, that I don't want any of these material things. All I want is you. See, this is love. It's not love if you go to God and you try to do business with him. You try to get something out of him. It's not love. Many people come to the temple, they put some money in the hundi, they spin around 3 times or do something like that. And, they're asking, let me pass this test, let me do this, let me do that. And Krishna may fulfill that desire. That's not love, you see. So it's a transaction. You're buying something from Krishna. Like Krishna's some shop owner here on the altar. It's really not what it's about. You should go to Krishna for love, meaning, Krishna, I want to love you. I don't want anything else. I just want to have a relationship with you. You're my everything. This is the genuine love. And, why should love be so cheap? It's getting more and more cheap as time goes on. What they call love in this world, it's getting very cheap. So there's other verses, but I want to skip ahead to this last verse, because this last verse really embodies this unconditional love, wherein Lord Chaitanya says, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally. Saying, I know no one but you. You're my everything, my dear Lord, my dear Krishna. You're my everything. And you're my Lord unconditional, even if you, do something that I don't like. Okay, we accept that God's in control. Sometimes things don't go our way, correct? Things don't always go our way. And if things don't go our way, we say, oh, my dear Lord, even if you handle me roughly in your embrace, I'm still your devotee. I'm still never going to give up chanting your holy name. I'm still never going to give up serving your devotees and trying to be your devotee. And even if you're not present before me, even if I can't feel you, if I can't feel you, if I can't see you, still I'm yours. Because you're completely free to do anything and everything. But you're my Lord, you're my lover, you're my best friend unconditionally. This is unconditional love. And this is what we're all looking for. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this. It's described of him, Namo Mahavandanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Tuvashe Namaha. That Lord Chaitanya is more merciful than Krishna. He's more magnanimous than any other incarnation of Krishna, because he's given what Krishna didn't even give. He's giving pure love for Krishna. And he's giving it freely. He's saying, chant Hare Krishna and go out and tell others to chant Hare Krishna. That's it. When you chant Hare Krishna, you go tell others to chant Hare Krishna. You get others to chant Hare Krishna. You get them to go in this process, to live this process. Then you'll feel full satisfaction of heart and mind. Then you'll be really happy. So this is the Hare Krishna movement. It's based on chanting Hare Krishna. And our fundamental belief is that if you chant Hare Krishna, you'll become fully happy. Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? Kirtanesvara Prabhu.
Yeah, in the beginning of the class, you mentioned 15 years ago, things were a lot easier. And I think as this age progresses, just surviving life in general gets more and more difficult. And for a lot of people in the world, maybe not so much in this country, but in other parts of the world, they're so in survival mode where they might have to work constantly, like all their waking hours, to the point that having time to chant would be like a luxury or a privilege. So I guess my question is that just their karma and it's just kind of like tough luck, or what advice or what hope is there for people that are really have to struggle that hard for their own physical survival?
Well, no, it's not. Any physical circumstances are, in one sense, karma. We can understand that physical circumstances are a reflection of our past activities, but there's no material impediment in acting on the transcendental platform. Krishna sees all the devotion. So, I think a good example is that we have many devotees who are from the Soviet Union, and there are many devotees in in really horrible places. And they are some of the most amazing spiritual personalities I've ever met, because they understand this element of life that Krishna is the most important thing. My body's going to die anyway, so let me chant Hare Krishna. Let me take shelter of Krishna. And even if I don't have time to chant, to come, to sit down and chant japa, Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaram nidyacha maya pratamanu buddhir mameva shashisham shaya. That basically says, think of me while doing your duty, while doing what you have to do, think of me. And we see that there are many instances of individuals in the Puranas and in the Vedas who are going through immense suffering and immense hard times, but who still manage to think of Krishna. So anybody, anywhere can take up this process of chanting Hare Krishna. They simply have to chant Hare Krishna best they can. And we can't necessarily have the luxury of having a beautiful temple. But if two people get together for, a few minutes and chant Hare Krishna, that's yagya. And that's also the solution to the material problems that we all have. This starvation in the world and this, this drought, famine, war. These are all symptoms of not acting in Krishna consciousness. These are the results. Therefore, if we act in Krishna consciousness by doing the Sankirtan Yagya, Krishna says that I will relieve you. Yagyartart kamayon yatra lokayam karmabandha. That if you do work, but it's not connected to Krishna, it binds us. But that very same work in connection to Krishna liberates us. And so all of the good things come from practicing yagya. And so even if we can work so hard, still we're not always successful, but we see that devotees who are fully engaged in this service of Krishna, they're always taken care of. Always. Krishna says, declare it boldly, O Arjuna, my devotee never perishes. And so in that way, one who is intelligent, especially in this age, the verse that predicts Lord Chaitanya says that an intelligent person takes to the process of the congregational chanting of the holy name because they understand that all the good things are not coming from my, slaving away in the material world. I can slave away so hard and not make any progress, but by pleasing God with the Sankirtan Yagya, all good things are raining down upon us. So, thank you very much. Okay, now we'll chant more Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.